I moved my microphone and I forgot where I put it. You've got the award-winning
And you
In Wheel
can't get
Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we visit with our favorite auto info insider, Divya Sangram, on reckless driving. It's always a good way to start off the morning.
There you go.
I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Ford F-150. Jeff has the Motor Minute. It's all coming up on this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars down there. We always need more Jeff Zeke in here. You don't even know where I am.
Mr. Forgetful.
Yeah, and that's what you're going to go with. I'm me and you're not.
Thank goodness.
Isn't that the truth? Div, you ready?
Yeah, here's she coming right now.
she
She's
coming
on her
in
way.
right
She's
now?
parking the car right now.
Yeah.
Parking the car.
Okay. So I'm not
There
the
she
I'm
is.
not the only one that's late.
We look like we scared her. Oh no.
let's just zoom in right now,
The
shall we?
zoomer.
Ladies
There
and
she is.
gentlemen, Divya Sangham. Hi.
Hi. Hi, guys. How are you all doing?
Well, we're
Good
doing
morning.
good. I'm doing good. Were you kind of scrambling this morning trying to get to us?
A little bit, yes.
Because you're never late, and you were a minute late this morning.
That's okay. We scramble every Saturday morning, so don't worry about it.
We scramble eggs.
Eggs. Well, no.
Well, I got late. I was scrambling because I was scrambling eggs this morning, and I woke up a few minutes late. So that's
Feeding the
why.
family is important. There
Yeah,
you go.
absolutely. Well, it's good to see you. How have you been?
I've been good. How about you guys?
Very well, thank you. Divya, by the way, is with Lending Tree Value Penguin, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us.
It's always fun to talk to her.
It is. It's always good. I know that you've been keeping up with the tariff situation, and I want a minute by minute, blow by blow, exactly where we are on the tariffs from every country that's being tariffed right now.
Go.
I wouldn't know exactly where we are with the tariffs because they keep changing. But I will say this. A lot of people are worried that, auto insurance rates are going to go up because of tariffs. And what I want to say to them is, hold your horses. It's probably not going to be as bad as we imagine. The situation is constantly in flux. They're striking deals all the time. And more importantly, tariffs is just one small part of the calculation that goes into figuring out how much your rates are going to increase. Climate change and weather disasters are probably going to have an even bigger impact, or, reckless driving or just unsafe driving is probably going to have a far bigger impact than tariffs. Yes, tariffs are going to affect, the cost of repairing cars because, the cost of importing spare parts is going up, but it's a piece of a larger equation.
Well, let me just say this. We hear and see television commercials. They're bombarded by, we'll save you at least $300 a year on your car insurance. Well, I got ticked off at Allstate, who I have been with for decades, because it's such a pain to have to go and change. And then I only changed once in my life, and I changed to State Farm, and I was with State Farm for 1 month, and they dropped me.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was awful because I have a perfectly clean driving record, no accidents, knock on wood, nothing. But for whatever reason, and they couldn't tell me, and I was ticked, needless to say. I was mad. So I went back to Allstate. Well, this time, my Allstate insurance agent sold his agency to somebody that I never
State
knew.
Farm.
To another agent, and never once did I get a phone call or email. Welcome to our new agency. My name is so-and-so. Let us know if you have any questions. We're reviewing your policy. We'll be back with you soon. Nothing. I got nothing. Thought, okay, I can play this game. So I thought, I'm going to start shopping for car insurance. And, you can go on a website, and then all of a sudden, every insurance agent in the entire United States now has your email. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way a lot of these sites are set up. The upside of getting called by agents is then they're kind of at your mercy. So you can ask them whatever questions you want. They're eager to close the sale. So it's just a really good way to comparison shop.
Well, I will tell you that I kept waiting and waiting. And, of course, call us, call it. No, you do the work. I got one phone call from a young man with a farmer's insurance agent out of College Station, Texas, which is about, 90 miles from here
Right
or
at
so?
99, yeah.
Yeah. And really a nice guy. And he, let me get your information, Mr. Armstrong. So I gave him all my information in the car and all of that. I saved myself $500 when I bundled it, thank you, with my homeowners, which is a renter's insurance policy, and my car insurance. And my car insurance, I don't have, big expensive deductions with, collision and all that stuff. I got a, 25-year-old car, and it's my baby, and I don't drive it very often. And told him that. He says, okay, well, we got this, and bam, $500 a year. Then not once did I get a phone call. So I wound up having to call the Allstate insurance agent and say,
Go fly a kite.
pretty much, yeah, go fly a kite. Oh, well, what can we do to get you back? You didn't even give us a chance.
6 months too
you
late.
had a chance
Yeah.
for 6 months to call me and say, hey, I'm me and you're you and that kind of thing. Nothing. So goodbye, Allstate. See you
Bye-bye.
later. And the insurance agent, there you go. So that was that.
Maybe Divya can insure us. How's
Yeah,
that?
well, maybe not, but
I'm sorry, I don't have an insurance license. I'm purely focused on the research side and all the interesting stats. But
so
your
let's talk about
experience-
what you called us to tell us about and reckless driving and what effect it has on everybody.
So here's the thing, summer is upon us, and usually when the summer season starts, you get to see all kinds of drivers on the road because the days are longer. Everyone's out there driving, and one of the consequences of having more people on the road is more accidents. And let's admit it, we've all seen that one driver on the road who's extremely reckless, and your first thought is, oh my God, is this person going to die? Is he going to crash? And the statistics show that reckless driving is a problem. Nearly 10% of all crashes that are fatal are attributed to reckless driving, and the problem is more pronounced in states where, there's bad weather or just roads are more challenging. So we're talking, Montana, we're talking, Nevada, Arizona, like Colorado, some of these states that have mountains, very remote roads or just challenging weather conditions. When you drive recklessly in those conditions, you're probably going to crash. And, if there is a takeaway here, it's just keep your eyes peeled on the road. Even if you are the safest driver out there, you can't trust the other drivers on the road to be safe. And we really don't want this summer to be a miserable summer because someone got into a nasty crash.
Well, there's that. And then I was really surprised by the fact that Montana, that is such a remote place, it's part of Canada, isn't it? I mean, it is
A suburb.
a suburb, yeah, a suburb of Canada, or maybe Alaska. But it's up there, and it gets really cold up there. Not a whole lot of people live there, and it topped the country in reckless driving fatalities.
Wow.
Yeah.
By 5 times.
Yeah, and that was surprising to us until we dug into it. States like Alaska, Montana, their roads can be quite remote. And like you rightly pointed out, the winter can be very brutal. So when you have a combination of bad weather, remote roads, if you get into a crash, it might even take a little longer for emergency services to reach you, which might contribute to the rise in, fatal accidents. And it's cold, so that probably people also may be drinking more to stay warm.
Yeah.
And so
And
when
not
you
coffee.
factor in all of these, you get a scenario where people are driving recklessly because they think, there aren't that many people on the road. I can get away with it. They get into a crash. Conditions are bad. They're not getting emergency services getting there quickly, and all of these contribute to it. So if there really is a takeaway here, it's just don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive, and be wary of other drivers on the road.
Well, the other interesting stat here, South Dakota and Washington. Are you talking about Washington State, not D.C.?
Yeah, Washington State.
Washington State. Well, so that's got some mountains in it. And South Dakota is kind of next to Wyoming. And you're thinking that there aren't as many people there. I don't know. But they reported the fewest reckless driving fatalities.
Yeah, I think South Dakota had 0 in the 5-year period we analyzed.
Maybe
and
this is
Washington also
maybe
was
South
very,
Dakota's
very low.
driving to the other states and getting in these accidents.
Driving to North Dakota and
they're making a
Montana.
bad name
Either
of
that or a bad bison.
Well, I heard this the other day from a friend of mine that says careless drivers aren't driving their cars; they're aiming their cars. Matthew Broderick said that.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
They're not driving
I
their car,
mean,
they're
that
aiming
makes
their
a
car.
lot of sense.
Yep.
You know, careless drivers are a menace.
Yeah, they're aiming their cars, not driving them.
Now, here's something that I thought was really interesting. The second and third most reckless driving states, West Virginia and Colorado. My youngest daughter lives in Colorado. And we will assume that is because of the mountainous region of the United States.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it.
Well, I will tell you that I visited there summer before last. No, last summer.
Was Colorado in what other state?
Second and third.
Oh, second and third.
That Colorado, I went to Pikes Peak. My knuckles have not yet really gotten back to the color that they're supposed to. I am still white knuckling it up that damn Pikes Peak that I never thought in a million years that I would be that terrified. Oh my God! It has to be something with my age. I don't know. Used to
No,
be.
I mean it's
I would agree
it's
with
new
that.
to
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
So it was probably a new experience for you because you may not have driven on that road before, but you were terrified. Now imagine you're a local, you're driving down that road every day. You might get careless, and that might contribute to it.
Well, like the tourist buses that were passing me on a 2-lane road, zigzagging up the mountain, passing me. I'm going, are you kidding? The guy obviously drives it all the time.
And they're all going as they went by.
Exactly.
I mean, I remember when going with my family up to the Shenandoah Valley, so it's between Virginia and West Virginia, and there were parts of, the road that were very narrow, and the stated speed limit was like 20 miles an hour. It's supposed to be a scenic byway. So we were sticking to the speed limit, it was a manual car, so we were going on second gear, and then we were scared to move up a gear. And there were people zipping by us going at 50 miles an hour, and I was terrified. My heart was in my mouth.
Yeah.
So definitely the mountainous roads and just the conditions overall contribute to an increase in reckless driving fatalities. There are reckless drivers in every state. I mean, I've seen them. I live in New Jersey. I have driven in many countries, but I am terrified of driving in New Jersey. But just because it's, roads are better, wider, well lit, you can probably escape a bad driver. But if you're up in a 2-lane road up a mountain, it's a lot harder. So, reckless driving could be a consequence of other factors. When you see them together, you realize that you really need to be careful on the roads, especially if you're living in a place where roads aren't well lit, or they're mountainous, or you just have bad weather.
Or maintained,
And the
yeah.
results are reflective of that.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you that through my lifetime, I have had multiple driving lessons. Oh, speeding ticket. Okay, I used to get those every once in a while. Then you take the driving safety course. And one of the things in all of the driving safety courses is adjust your speed according to the weather. You got bright blue skies, no big deal. Run the speed limit if traffic conditions permit. But if the weather is bad, it's on you if you have a wreck, because you're supposed to slow down. And that's the biggest thing of all. And I see it, we have a beltway here. The speed limit is 65 in a very urban area of Texas.
Well, with Colorado, you would think, is it an accident? Is it post-dispensary visit or pre-dispensary
Well,
visit?
there's that thought.
There
is that
go either
thought.
way with that.
And the other thing is great big trucks, doing over the speed limit. And here's the guy inside texting.
Yep.
That,
All the time.
See it all the time.
Yep.
Huge thing. Reckless driving. Yeah, it's preventable. You can't prevent somebody else from being a reckless driver, but you can get out of the way most of the time. Unless, of course, they're coming up behind you at 80 miles an hour and you're stuck in traffic. There's nothing you can do, and they slam into the back of you. Then you call Jim Adler.
Yeah.
I was
The
coming in
Texas
on
Hammer.
10 this morning. I would crossed over Beltway 8, still on 10. I got my cruise set on 78. I'm cruising with the traffic, and I see him coming. A big black car coming. I thought it was police. It wasn't. It was somebody else, and he went around me and went across 3 lanes in front of me. Then he came back across 3 lanes, just working his way through traffic.
Zigzagging. Yeah.
And I'm doing 78 in a 60 65, whatever the speed limit is through there. And this guy's just blowing by me. I mean,
Hello, Steve Woodard.
Yeah, I was going to do the same thing, Steve.
Next time, set up that
Steve
radar.
Woodard is our
This
state
black
trooper
car.
friend.
Set
Divya.
up that radar over there on I-10 between Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Orange and Houston.
Just-
No,
'Cause
it's-
Mr. Mars is headed this away.
You just
inside the Beltway where it speeds up.
camp out in Mike's driveway. You'll get him.
I will never understand drivers who zigzag across lanes thinking it's going to get them to their destination faster.
There was actually a study done by the University of Michigan because they are in the big traffic thing for the feds. They say changing lanes actually delays your trip. So if you're in a lane and say it's a 3-lane traffic and you're in the middle lane and the left lane keeps kind of going ahead of you, and then you get in that lane, you just backed up because that other lane's going to move too. So
Absolutely.
stay in your lane, don't be zigzagging, and you'll get there in time.
And don't be preached to by somebody that is the biggest sinner of all when it comes to that right foot. He can plow that thing right down to the floor mat.
Who's that? Me? No. They say I'm an old man when I drive.
Yeah. Here's the guy that had his, what was it, a 69 or 70 Nova?
72.
72 Nova with a big V8 motor in it? No.
No,
Him speeding?
No.
He
No.
never did that.
No, never did.
You know, he talks about his hair getting a little thin. That's because the air, he's
Yeah,
moving
just
so
blew it
fast,
all
the air is
off.
blowing it off.
Just, don't do it.
Divya, it's so good to see you. Great to talk to you as always. The next thing on your agenda from the guys at In Wheel Time is trying to sort out the tariff situation, and I know that you're going to do a great job. It may take you till next year, but
Along with everybody else.
You're all in for that, I can tell.
I'm definitely going to give you guys an update the moment we get a sense of how much insurance companies are raising rates.
And that's going to be the biggest problem, you say, insurance? Because it's going to raise the price of the car and repairs to the car, is that right?
I mean, insurance is just one part. I only speak about insurance because that's the one thing I'm obsessed with. But yes, I mean, it's going to affect the entire car ownership process, right? It's going to be more expensive to buy a car. It's going to
Absolutely.
be more expensive to repair a car. But, with insurance, it's going to be one part of a many-piece puzzle on how rates are going to be calculated in 2026 and beyond.
So
Very good.
reckless driving deaths study, valuepenguin.com.
Yeah, definitely look for it, and I'm sure you'll find some good tips in there.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, my dear. Take care of yourself.
Divya, we
Take care of
appreciate you.
yourselves, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice
Happy Mother's
rest of the
Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful women in your life as well.
Thank you very much.
and
We'll
then-
talk to you again soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right.
Includes Don.
Yeah, there's that. Just ahead, a review of the 2025 Ford F-150 and Jeff's Motor Minute. Right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to
How's that?
detail in each
Oh.
and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The Enwell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the Enwell Time Car Talk Show.
Hey, I did want to remind you that our last stop on the In Wheel Time Spring Tour happens June 12th. And that's going to take place in Granbury, Texas, just to the south of Fort Worth, at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. That live broadcast will air at a special time, 9 to noon on June the 12th. and we hope that you will join us. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Motor
Jeffrey?
Minute. Hey, you know what's coming up at the end of the month? Indianapolis 500.
Yes,
They're
sir.
already
Indy,
starting
Indy,
time
Indy.
trials. They're already starting qualifying for the circuit inside the track and all that stuff. I watched a little bit of it yesterday, but here's some fun facts. The Indy 500 is the world's largest single-day sporting event that draws more than 300,000 people a year. So how's that? And then you've got the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where the race is held, spans an impressive 253 acres.
Really?
The whole complex. Then, over the course of its 100-year history, the Indy 500 has been won by 75 different drivers. That's pretty cool. Helio Castroneves, AJ Foyt, Rick Mears, and Al Unser share the record for the most victories at the Indy 500 with 4 each. That's quite a bit. That's a good accomplishment. Scott Dixon holds a record for the most laps led at the Indy 500. That's pretty cool, too. Borg Warner Trophy has been awarded to the winning driver since 1936. The winner of the 500 is traditionally presented with a wreath and what else, Mike?
Bottle of milk.
There you go. Thanks, Mike. Al Unser, 1992, Al Unser came really close to winning his 3rd consecutive Indy title in a row. So he's won back-to-back, but he didn't have the chance to win the 3rd.
Didn't three-peat.
The hat trick.
The hat trick. There you go. So that's a little bit of
You
Indy
know,
stuff.
what's a hat
I'm
trick?
excited.
I don't know what a hat trick is.
I'm excited because I like the Indy 500. And there's another big, super duper worldwide event coming in that week after Indy. It's going to be epic. You'll all find out about it.
I guess you'll tell us about it after the Indy.
I'll tell you now. It's going to be my birthday.
God. Okay. Well, we'll look forward to that celebration.
Send your
right
gifts
here.
to.
And tequila bottles, too.
There you go.
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2025 Ford F-150. Final assembly location, Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, buddy.
The home of Ford Motor Company. It comes in these trim levels: XL, STX, XLT, Lariat, Tremor, Platinum, King Ranch, and Raptor. Reviewed trim level, 4x4 Super Crew King Ranch. Oh, my God. Your living room is not this nice. I promise you. This is a standard pickup truck, seats 5 people. 14th generation. Yes, 14th generation.
Wow.
Redesigned and all new for 2021. Exterior features: classic Ford design with conservative, not overpowering grille. It seems to be a thing these days, and I don't get it. Wheel opening trim varies depending on the trim level that you choose. Swinging tailgate. Yeah, it's a swinging tailgate option. When it opens, it allows for easy bed access and reach. So it's got like a door within the tailgate. It's in the middle of it, and you can swing it open.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, there's their competition. They all have something special. That General Motors one is pretty cool too, and it helps in you getting closer to the bed. So if you got something really heavy and you want to get it in the bed, you don't have to put it on the tailgate and shove it in. You just go right to the bed with it.
Yeah, you don't have to reach over
Yeah.
and strain your back any more than you already
What
do.
I liked about it, the optional Pro Power for camping or working with a 120-volt connection. That is very cool. Do any of the others have that?
I think they're starting to put
I
them
think
in.
they're putting
Yeah.
some plugs back there.
So
it's-
many. Listen, here's the deal. And this is directly
Tesla
from
comes to
Ford.
mind.
There are so many options and trims and configurations. If you can't find one on the lot, which is highly unlikely, somewhere in the state of Texas there's one exactly the way
yeah,
you want it.
absolutely.
But order it. And I say that because I had a question to Ford one time. This is years ago. I said, so what if I'm going to pull a trailer with the half-ton pickup truck? Can I change out the rear axle? Because I'm going to tow it a lot. The majority of the truck's work is going to be towing a big boat or whatever it is that I'm towing.
Right.
Trailer.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that. Chances are you're going to have to special order it because for the most part now with these new 10-speed automatic transmissions, sometimes you don't have to change the rear axle. But if you are going to drive in a mountainous area, for instance, travel to Colorado all the time, and you're pulling your travel trailer behind you in the half-ton, tongue weight. Everything else is good. You might want to go for a lower differential, right? And so there's that. Order it from the factory is my suggestion. Interior highlights. Awesome. Easy to find dash buttons and switches. Configurable instrument cluster. Huge touchscreen with killer radio in it. And I checked the radio out with David Ainsley because he wanted to hear his fine work that he did with the new transmitter at 107.5. My God, that thing sounded like $1 billion. Yeah, so I can't imagine somebody taking that out and putting an aftermarket radio in it because that thing works great. Configurable instrument cluster, as I said, the huge touch screen. King Ranch leather interior is beautiful and comfortable. The cargo in the back seat is superb. Fold up seats. What I loved about it, the Blue Cruise for highway is absolutely the best. And, it basically guides you through it. If it's time for you to put your hands on the wheel, it'll tell you to do that. It's easy to use. Loved the work surface that uses the back side of the center console and the armrest. Folds out over the shifter in the center console. The shifter goes down into the console. It's really cool. This thing is a Swiss Army knife of goodness. Turn the page.
I like that.
3.5 liter twin turbo V6 with a 1.5 kilowatt per hour lithium battery motor. Turns out a total of 430 horsepower with 570 pound-feet of torque. Tow rating up to 13,500 depending on the configuration. Haul rating up to 2,445 pounds depending on the configuration. City 22 miles per gallon, highway 24, combined at 23. I got 19.3 over 348.7 miles. What I liked, the mileage was better than the 13 miles per gallon this thing used to get when it had the V8 engine in it.
Nice.
The V6 is really awesome. What could use improvement? Nothing. What I liked, fairly smooth without a load of any kind in it, which was kind of surprising because, a pickup truck is made to haul stuff. Well, with that, you got to have the suspension that can take the heavy load.
Right.
1,000 pounds in the bed would make it a lot smoother. Of course, it would cut down on the gas mileage a little bit, but you really don't need anything in the bed. It rides pretty well. Air suspension option would be good. Base trim price, $74,805. Prices tested, $79,825. I didn't say it was cheap.
Right.
Base model price, $44,995. Chevy 1500 is one of its competitors. It starts at $42,700. The Ram 1500 starts at $43,025. And the Toyota Tundra starts at $40,090.
Nice.
Yeah. It works well. If you're out for a truck, shop around, but I think that you're going to wind up checking out the Ford. All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
Wrong button. I've switched the microphone buttons around and I can't find it. This is your place for all things automotive, the award-winning in-wheel time car talk show today. Coming to you live from Studio A inside the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA. Coming up, we talked to an old friend from the Chrysler Group, Dave Sowers, about a new entry-level trim for the Ram pick-em-up truck and other insider stuff. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines. Howdy, along with Mike, Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Our chief engineer, David Ainsley, has the morning off.
He's always got the morning off.
Actually,
He's just off.
well,
Way off.
there is that. Before we get to Dave, I wanted to read this story because it kind of goes hand in hand with our interview.
Our
Dave.
guest, yep.
Okay. Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis said when he returned from a brief retirement last year that the truck brand needed more offerings under $50,000. Well, Ram is taking aim at that price point with the 2026 1500 Express,
All right.
a trim it says is marketed toward customers seeking a combination of attitude and value. The Express starts at $44,495 with shipping. It'll be assembled in Sterling Heights, Michigan,
All
and
right.
arrive at dealerships in the third quarter. Buyers can choose from crew cab and quad cab body styles with 4x2 or 4x4 drivetrains. Kuniskis told Automotive News at the Detroit Auto Show in January that Ram had to be more aggressive in the sub-$50,000 space after discontinuing the 1500 Classic, which served as an economical option at the bottom of the lineup. Ram said that the Express first was offered in 1939 and had a whopping 78 horsepower.
All right.
But that was then, and this is now.
Can improve on that.
Ram has come a long way, baby, since then. And joining us now, direct from Chrysler Central, I assume, it's Tim Kuniskis, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Oh my God, not Tim Kuniskis. I'm sorry, Dave Sowers.
There you go.
Well, I just gave you a promotion and a raise, Dave.
And a new name.
Yeah, thanks for that, Don. I appreciate it. Not to set the bar too high for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we were at the bar last night.
Yeah, that's right. That was last night. Well, Dave, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you in years, and I'm glad that you're still on board with Chrysler, and you're looking fine.
Good to see you guys, too. I haven't talked to you in a long time, Don.
I know. Yes, it has been. We wanted to talk to you today. I'm sorry?
It's Mike.
I wanted to talk. I'm sorry. We're having some sort of a choking hazard over here by the name of Mike Mars. The 2026 Express available in the third quarter. And I read that story, but I also wanted to talk to you about a new heavy-duty Ram that features high-output Cummins diesel for the 25 and 3500 trucks. Tell me about that.
Yeah, let me first start off by saying I want to talk about the quote you read from Tim
Yes.
with Automotive News, and I'll speak to it from my side of the equation. I've been on the truck brand for a while now, right?
I'll say
And,
yes.
I can tell you the enthusiasm and excitement on our brand right now is over the top. The stuff we're talking about today is just the tip of the iceberg. We launched the all-new 25 light-duty truck last year. At the beginning of this year, we're launching the new heavy-duty, which we'll talk about. And the excitement and energy and go-get-it attitude that Tim is bringing to the brand is, my gosh, it's so welcome. And you're going to see so much good stuff and exciting stuff coming out of the Ram brand over the next couple of months. It's gonna really blow you away.
Well, I'm excited, and I know that you guys have been through a really rough time up there, and the CEO departure, and it has been a mess. And I'm glad that you made it through all of that. Those kind of things happen in companies from time to time, and it's a real shame because, as you know, we have always been a big fan of the Chrysler and especially the Ram brand because we think that you guys have great product. And listen, the Ram 1500, it is the bomb, man. I don't know how else to put it. Beautiful interior, great styling, longevity, engine choices.
Comfortable to drive.
And you got this new straight six that I'm really excited about it, too, because I am the straight six man.
Well, you just like to torque.
I do. And I'm really excited that, somebody has taken the torch and moved on from the V6 and gone to a straight six.
And it's been a great powertrain for us. That's the Hurricane engine family that you're talking about. You mentioned the Express package, which we just revealed.
Yes.
And we come with a standard V6, normally aspirated engine with that package, but we do have the optional 3-liter base Hurricane engine, and that's 420 horsepower. And that's in a base level truck is a really exciting experience. That's more power than what we had from the last V8 with better emissions and better fuel economy. So yes, that straight six engine is a great configuration, and the power delivery out of that with the turbo that we have is excellent. So the one other exciting piece of that Express you didn't mention, Don, was the fact that there's a black Express package. So it starts with that same equipment with the 20-inch wheels and the monochromatic appearance, but it adds all black accents. So in this case, you're getting black 20-inch wheels, you're getting black badges around the truck. Obviously, that's available in black, but it's also available in white, granite, hydro blue, which is one of our eye-popping colors, and then a new color for us on the 1500 and on heavy duty coming in is a forged blue, which we're really excited about as well.
Well, I can't wait for you guys to get one of these new ones, especially with that Hurricane engine in it. In the press fleet, hint, hint, call Kimberly, say, Kimberly, it's on the way. I want to drive it.
That sounds like a very specific request we should be able to address.
I'm just happy that it's in Sterling Heights because I grew up in the Detroit area, and Sterling Heights is an automotive blue-collar town, and they have some good people there, and I'm glad to see that's happening for them.
Yeah. It's really awesome. So tell me what else is going on with Chrysler. And like you say, the mood up there has really changed, I would imagine, since the past CEO has moved on. And we're getting ready here to crank it up, I hope.
Yeah, for sure. We're as excited as we are about Tim coming back to the brand. We're also excited about the general direction for the whole company, the investments that we're seeing in the Ram brand. Obviously, as a longtime Ram guy, it's exciting to see that we're talking about innovations and our investments and new products coming to the Ram brand, and that's across our lineup. We just talked about the latest thing on light duty. I do want to talk about our heavy duty, and I know you were talking about multi-gear transmissions with higher number of gear ratios and axle ratios. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Matter of fact, since we just talked about that, let's expand on that. When there are a lot of first-time truck buyers, because the trucks they're the hot thing now, and everybody and his mother's buying them, and a lot of them are for the first time. And I don't think that most people realize the number of options that are available on a truck, including in the powertrain itself, including the rear axle. And if you've got a 1500 or a 25 or 3500, that's one of those things that you can specially order and package it to whatever it is that you're towing or hauling. And I don't think that most people really realize that.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to spin you around another way, Don,
okay,
on that one, because for heavy duty, we made a significant investment in powertrain for a 25 model year, and that includes making the 6.7 liter high output Cummins standard on all of our pickups, 2500 through 3500. So the standard Cummins diesel now, 430 horsepower, 1,075 pounds.
1,075 pound-feet of torque. My God, you can pull down houses with that.
Yeah, we always joke about being able to tow around your house, and we don't just mean mobile homes either. So it's a really impressive powertrain. The thing that will often go unnoticed is the investments that we made in the transmission itself. I know you were talking about a competitive transmission previously, but we brought in a new 8-speed transmission. It's a TorqueFlite HD for all of our diesel applications in our heavy duty trucks. So it's a huge leap forward. It's not only just 2 more gear ratios than the outgoing 6-speed, it's a huge leap forward in terms of efficiency and technology. And What we've actually done is we've eliminated any rear axle ratio choices for the customer.
Well, because it's all in the
And-
transmission now.
Yes, and I'll tell you how we do that. Because we have 8 speeds and because we use a spread, a gear ratio spread, we can have better pulling power in first gear than our oldest, tallest gear ratio, our highest numerical gear ratio. So in the past, you would have ordered a 410 rear axle.
Yep.
And for your towing applications. Our standard axle now is a 342. With the 8-speed, I get better pulling power in first gear and second gear than I had in first gear before.
So
And I don't give any of that up on the highway. I have lower RPM cruising speeds on the highway because of how that transmission's set up. So we eliminated the choice for the customer, and it's all handled in the transmission. Now, in the past, there might have been a risk there with 8 speeds. You might find gear hunting going on. You might find yourself not in the right gear all the time. We've solved that with the transmission control strategies and the ability to keep it in the right gear all the time. As a matter of fact, we will launch in second gear when the truck is empty and you're not in tow haul mode. So during the normal driving around when you're not towing or hauling, it's a more relaxed start, and that's similar to what our first gear might have been in the past. And we're only going to use that high numerical gear ratio for first gear when you engage tow haul mode, or even if you don't, the truck will recognize that you're pulling a heavy load and begin to pull out in first gear on its own.
I was going to say,
Wow.
I was going to say that's the one thing with the new computer-driven controls of these things is that it recognizes what it's hauling behind there. What kind of grunt does it really
Yeah.
need to pull off the stop sign?
It only takes 2 or 3 starts with your trailer hooked up for it to recognize, and it will adapt to that. And it adapts the shift strategy throughout. So one of the other things, I mentioned the potential to have shift busyness. We actually are able to shift multiple gears at one time. So we can go from 6th gear to 4th gear to pass without engaging 5th gear. We can go from 4th gear to 6th gear after we've completed the pass. So we've done a lot of testing with this. We've run all of the typical very difficult grades, Davis Dam grade, Eisenhower grade, with very heavy trailers the whole way up through our max trailer weights. And we're able to perform better on the grade and have better overall performance with that transmission than having to change the axle ratios. So we're kind of changing the paradigm with this, and the customer's getting the best of both worlds. And even those first-time heavy-duty buyers that are going to haul a camper, they're not going to have to remember exactly what to do. They don't have to spec a different axle ratio. And when they jump in to drive it, it's going to be very intuitive, and it's going to take care of it. All that power and a very smart transmission makes this driving experience out of this world when you're towing and hauling.
Do you happen to have a fifth wheel factory installed option?
We do. We have both fifth wheel and gooseneck from the factory. That is a check the box option, and it comes installed in the bed. The actual fifth wheel hitch itself, we have 2 different hitches available via Mopar. So you can get a fifth wheel hitch that's rated at 25,000 pounds and a fifth wheel hitch that's rated at 30,000 pounds. These trucks are capable of so much more. We actually had to invent that 30,000 pound hitch to be able to haul that.
I was just going to add.
Oh, hold on. Let me. I've changed. We've changed microphones around in here this morning, and I can't get the buttons right. Go
yeah,
ahead,
we're
Mike.
doing some technical work. Yeah. So I was wondering about the transmission and the low gear. I mean, that sounds like the old granny gear we used to call it, where you downshifted into, I mean, it just didn't have any speed, but it had tons of power. So if you're not in the tow haul mode and you're not really hauling something, but you hammer it, for example, I mean, if you put some pressure on that engine, does it react to that, or is it strictly understand, I got a heavy load here?
It's still going to pull out in second gear, and I can tell you from personal experience, and our engineers can tell you from their testing, that our second gear with 1,075 pound-feet of torque with the truck empty, you are not going to miss first gear. That
Not
is
missing
going
it.
to pull
Well,
out
you-
like crazy. When you go to the heavy throttle input, it's really going to pull out.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
Dave,
use that.
you have to understand, Dave, we're all drag racers here, and I know that you can appreciate that. Can you override it and stick it in first with the shifter?
Well, yeah, there's two ways that you can force it to use first gear. One is to select tow haul mode, and it'll pull out in first gear every time. So if you really want to snap your neck, you could do that on an empty truck. And then we have
What?
all
Wait,
of
wait a
our
minute.
trucks
Wait,
from
wait.
light
What
duty-
is that little smirk on your face as you say that? You devil, you.
No ill intent implied.
I'm
No.
sure. Yeah, I got it.
But all of our trucks, from light duty through heavy duty, or chassis cabs up through 5500, all have range select. So you can select the top gear that you will be in, and if you want to pull that down into first gear, and then you can actually shift it using that range select button from there.
So there's a way
if
to
you're
do
in
it.
a
If you-
drag strip mentality, you can certainly use that feature as well.
Not that we would do that.
Oh, no.
But I
Such a
that's one of the
liar.
things I think. There's that smile again.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on, he's a car guy.
Well, and they've been doing Ram trucks for so long. I can imagine, the testing that it's really gone through. I mean, you have things that you can talk
We
about.
go back to the little red wagon days, so never mind us, okay?
So, Dave, you're up in Detroit, right, Dave?
That's right.
Okay. Whereabouts? Or just downtown?
Auburn Hills.
Auburn Hills. Perfect. Yeah. Know it well. Yeah. good
I
stuff.
just, I was going to let you guys know, I just earned my gold star for having 10,000 hours in the passenger seat with journalists. So I'm one of the rare people that's survived that long.
Well,
I
do we
got that years ago.
Do we congratulate you, or do you feel sorry for us, or
You
how,
need a
how do we,
sympathy
how are we supposed to
card, or
react?
how do we do
You
that?
should congratulate me on my good fortune.
There you
And you're
go.
still alive.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, Dave, it's great to talk to you, my friend. Good to see you, and hopefully one of these days we'll be reunited and we can have dinner or something together again.
We're looking forward to bringing some of our new trucks to Texas so you guys can try them out.
Looking forward to it. Dave, thanks again, and
Thanks, Dave.
let's stay in
Yeah,
touch
thank
here.
you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay. Dave Sowers, and
I love that smile on his
yeah.
face.
I know. Yeah.
He's got a lot of information. That man is in tune with it.
I'll say, to say the least. Hey, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History, and I think that's not correct.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
right.
It is. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I'm a little bit lost.
Okay. Yeah. We got racing calendar.
Well,
we got-
the whole microphone thing has really got me dumbfounded. But it doesn't take much these days.
Well,
Nope.
Okay, so Mars has This Week in Auto History. I'll bring you the automotive news headlines coming up just a bit here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We're back in a flash.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best
What?
beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The Inwell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Welcome back to In Wheel Time. Looking forward to seeing you at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run in Granbury, June the 12th. If you can't be there with us in person, join us for our live broadcast. It's going to be 9 to noon that particular Saturday, and we invite you to come along for the ride. It's going to be fun. All right, time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge.
And thank you for that. May 15th through the 18th is NHRA at the Gerber Collision and Glass Route 66 NHRA Nationals at the Route 66 Raceway. So that's coming up on the 15th through the 18th. Craftsman Truck is running today in Kansas. The Xfinity boys are off, and then the big NASCAR Cup guys are again on Sunday in Kansas. So they're kind of back-to-back with the truck boys. Grand Prix of Indianapolis, we talked about that earlier. It is today at 3 p.m. Indianapolis Motor Speedway is 85 lapper on the circuit there within the big oval. Formula One is going on May 25th, which is the same weekend as Indy. That's the Monaco Grand Prix. IMSA Racing is the 11th, which is Sunday. That's at the WeatherTech Raceway in Laguna Seca. That's actually going to be on NBC, your local channel. Soapbox.
That's the Nobody Cares television
That's it.
network.
May 17th, which is next weekend, you got Soapbox Derby out of Chicago. And there's been 2 episodes I saw with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and there's another broadcaster. They go to different countries and they call it Soapbox Derby. You make a contraption and you go down this course with hay bales and things, water jumps and slides in these 2-people contraptions, and they're calling it Soapbox Derby. I watched it, and then I turned it off. It's kind of hokey. It's kind of bad.
Did you happen to see the thing that I posted on Facebook? It's on my personal Facebook account. Did you see the one from New Braunfels?
Yeah. And then Bobby said he wants to do that. You said do it for Bobby.
Yeah. Build your own kind of boat, if you want to call it that, and you go down the flume into the river.
It's that principle, but on a concrete course.
Yeah.
And then you got Tokyo Waterfront City Circuit in Japan of the vehicles, the Formula E vehicles. E-Prix is what they're calling it, and that's the 16th through the 18th.
E-Prix.
E-Prix.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Mars, it's your turn for This Week in Auto History.
Yes, sir. This week we got lots of good things. It's going to start with this week in 1957.
Great year.
Packard Motor Company.
Better be.
Founded in 1899, it was known for its innovative engineering and elegant design. However, post-war struggles,
Bye-bye.
poor mergers, which translates into management screwed up, shifting market trends led to its decline. The last car came off the assembly line this week. It was a rebadged Studebaker.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it does look like that.
Yeah, it kind of symbolizes.
Except it's got quad headlights.
Kind of looks like a
It's
T-Bird.
like a 58 Chevy. You
58
know?
Chevy in the front, and then the Chrysler look with the flying wings in the back.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
leaning
kind of
towards
a
T-Bird.
Morphodite Studebaker
Yeah.
Chrysler thing.
Well, yeah.
Also,
Morphodite.
Chemical
this
plant.
week, back in 1914, motorcycle racer Irwin Baker, who was the winner of the first ever race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh, Irwin.
It was a motorcycle
I
race.
remember him well.
Yeah.
So he left San Diego for New York City.
New York City.
New York City. And he made it in 11 days, which smashed the old record by 9 days.
God.
And it was after this run that a journalist said he was faster than a cannonball, which got him Irwin Cannonball Baker
There you
was his
go.
nickname. And that actually led to the naming of this unsanctioned and outlawed race known as the Cannonball Run.
That poor guy is in a back brace for the rest of his life after
Looks like
that.
he's too tall to ride that.
Now, I think he's standing as straight as he
Just
can right
too
there.
tall cannonball.
Yeah, that's it. All bent over.
Too tall
Yeah.
cannonball.
Also this week in 2008, the film Speed Racer was released to the public for the first time. Now, this was a live action based on the classic anime, and it has become kind of an iconic thing about Speed Racer. Just people just talk about Speed Racer.
And Spritle the monkey.
By the way,
A lot of-
speaking of that, there is a guy here in town that has a clone of the actual Speed Racer car.
Didn't he brought it to Tailpipes and Tacos one time?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. He did. I remember that now. Also this week in 1952, Chrysler introduces the PowerFlight automatic transmission.
Yeah.
Now, this was their first fully automatic offering, and it really changed a lot of things in post-war America because there was a lot of semi-automatics, and of course they had the manuals. But this is the first one that actually used no clutch and only the gear selector. Now, it had a couple of variations. This was a later model, but the first one was on the column like they normally are. But the thing was, the way the gear selectors the gears were positioned is not the standard Prenundle that we have now.
Yep.
It was backwards.
Prenundle?
Prenundle.
Yeah. Prenundle.
Yeah. Prndl. Prendle. You never known that?
Never. I've never
man.
heard that in my life.
You need to get out more, Don.
But the other thing I don't see on
No,
that.
I don't have
where's
any
the,
automatic transmissions.
Where's the P for park?
They didn't have it on this version of it.
You put it in
So-
neutral and you hit the emergency
Emergency
brake.
cop.
Well,
Yeah,
and it was park, neutral, then it was drive and reverse. So you had to go through a lot of gearation. That's why. So they eventually moved it around and changed it to where they separated park and neutral.
And we'll be teaching
Also-
Don how to drive later.
Absolutely. Also, this week in 2007, Bump in the Trunk is a bass heavy hip hop track known for its deep beats and party vibe.
You've got all their albums, don't you?
Often, it references the powerful car audio
Boom.
system and the song.
Thugs in
In
harmony.
harmony.
Yeah,
Strength
that's who did
and
it.
loyalty.
And the song celebrates cruising culture and high volume sound.
Nothing celebrates cruising culture like Bowler, shot caller,
That's
20-inch blades on my Impala. Who sang it?
Bump in the trunk.
Don't
There wasn't
really
Bump in the
care.
Trunk.
It's Lil Troy from
From
Houston, Texas.
I knew he was from
Okay,
Houston,
don't
but I
really
couldn't think of his
care.
Well, how
name.
come we've never had him on the show?
Well,
Mars?
because you
Little
sing
Troy.
it.
No, it's
I'm going to write
Lil,
it down.
L-I-L. Troy.
You singing that is like having him in the studio. That's what it is.
Not hardly.
Okay, so
This
did we-
week in 1962,
We're moving on.
Studebaker Avanti begins production.
Ugh.
Now, this was a radical fiberglass body.
I'd drive it.
And it was designed to revive the brand image. Futuristic styling, optional supercharged engines,
Sold them at the Cadillac
safety
store.
features, all these things. But it had limited success because of production delays,
and
financial
its
woes.
ugliness.
Yeah, and
I
its
would drive
ugliness.
that.
Of course you would.
I'd put a blower on it and tub it out.
Oh, my God. That is-
You could get one with a
isn't
supercharged
it, isn't it
engine.
fiberglass?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fiberglass,
What,
yeah.
No.
It's pretty.
Also, this week in 1981, the first episode of BJ and the Bear aired. Now, this was a series about trucker BJ McKay and his pet chimpanzee Bear.
Biker on 9.
They traveled the country in a red and white Kenworth semi, helping people and outwitting corrupt law enforcement.
Outwitting.
The show mixed action, humor, and charm, and it became a cult classic.
Really? I never would think
That
that,
I
a
would-
cult classic is way over the top. for me.
Theoretically, it's a cult classic.
Theory-
It is
Theoretically.
because of the chimp.
Now, let me-
Anyway, that's this week in
All right,
automotive
well, thank
history.
you, but I want to stay on this for a minute. Okay. BJ
Thought I was
and
gonna
the
get
Bear.
out of
How
it.
many
I know.
seasons did that last?
Let's
many.
see here. It started in 1981. I didn't write it down how many it did.
One season, BJ and the
No,
Bear.
it was more than that.
No, it wasn't.
You know what? I think George or Jeffrey Heitzman will.
Somebody needs
Tell
to
us.
chime
Yeah,
in.
let's see here.
I'm sure they're looking it up right now.
Now he's gonna
go
Mars,
back and look
Mars
at-
is opening up
There-
his computer
Yeah,
right now.
now I'm
Hey,
looking
Google.
to see who's saying what. Who's somebody will tell us.
Hey
here in a
Siri.
Yeah, that's it.
And everybody's phone goes
phone goes off.
minute. Yeah, but don't look up the BJ part.
Oh,
BJ and the Bear. Oh God,
Barney Johnson.
no.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
him. That was him.
Dude, I
Brad McKay, Bob McKay,
never heard of that
Brad
guy.
Johnson.
Never heard of
BJ McKay. That's
never
him.
heard of the actor. Did you? Who was the actor?
Nope.
No, it was a one-hit wonder kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
but I think the chimpanzee was in several things.
Yeah.
yeah.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. What was the? Wait a minute. What was the name? Of,
Tarzan.
what was the name of the monkey on the Today Show?
I don't watch
Muggs.
the Today Show.
JJ
no
Muggs.
idea.
JJ Muggs.
Was it that?
El
I don't
Roker?
know.
No, that's not it.
No. Well, we'll find out during the break.
See, George says.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, hold that thought. We're going to get back to that, all right? Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email. The address here is inwheeltime.com. We are back after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
This is the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we guess what it sold for from Hemming Sold Car Roundup. Plus, this week's auto recalls. Give you a couple of headlines in there just to tease you. Jeff will bring us some car culture. And Mr. Mars reviews the new Ford Explorer. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks so much for joining us on this beautiful Saturday.
It is gorgeous.
Here in the Houston,
Yep.
Texas area.
People out walking early in the morning.
Yeah.
Kathy went for a walk.
And guess what? Summer is just that
Eh,
far
really,
away.
yeah, it's like 8 days from here.
It'll be here before you know it.
90
Yeah.
degrees this week.
then
for the high
locusts and all that
temperature.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, back to BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear, yes.
So our outstanding internet audience,
Yes.
we had Jeff and George both looked it up, checked it out for us. 2 years, 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Which was
Well,
two
that's
seasons
not
too
2
long.
years. That's 2 seasons.
Like a year and a half.
Started in February of '79, ended in May '81.
There you go.
It was the series was produced when the CB radio and trucking craze had peaked in the United States.
It had already peaked.
The
Yeah.
truck lasted longer than the
They were a
show.
little bit slower to get it on the air.
I drilled a hole right back smack dab in the middle of my Chevrolet Monza.
I know where this is
and
going.
Mounted my CB antenna. The
No
Texas Skywave was my handle. What was yours?
Silverado.
Silverado. And what was yours, Jeff?
I don't remember.
I
I didn't have one for
I
that
had a
long.
license too.
Went out of the cab and up in the first post holes in the bed of the truck. Had dual whips.
I could see that with you over there in Nederland.
Yes, sir.
You were styling, brother.
I was.
And you had your ponytail and all that?
No, not then.
Oh.
When was the pony? Was that post?
No.
Whip
I
antennas, or-
never worked where I could have a ponytail. I had to do all that before I got.
It was that wig that you used to have that had the ponytail
that's-
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked pretty good till it would blow off and go out the sunroof.
Well, that would be a Merkin. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. I'm not even going to do the stories right now because I'm not going to be able to keep myself composed. But I thought
the
we
visual.
would. I thought, I thought that we would have some recalls to tell you about. And guess who's up at the top of the list again?
Mercedes.
Ford.
Oh.
Blank or distorted rear view camera image. These are all 2015 models. Expedition, F-250, 350, 450, Lincoln MKC, Lincoln Navigator, and the F-150 for 2025. For whatever reason, big jump there. Anyway, that's a missing dashboard airbag warning label. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's being recalled for a label.
Yeah. Why would they
Could
wouldn't
you
sell
not
me
put-
one? They wouldn't sell me a car because of a label.
Really?
Yeah.
Couldn't they just put that in the mail to you or something?
Nope.
Improperly secured battery may cause a fire in the Ford F-150 Lightning BEV.
Battery fire and a light.
A battery fire in a
Nice.
Lightning. Imagine such a thing. Engine failure. We've done this a dozen times, but 21 to 24 model years of the 6.2 liter V8 Cadillac Escalade, Escalade ESV, Chevy Silverado 1500, Suburban, Tahoe, Sierra 1500, Yukon, and Yukon XL. 21 through 24 engine failure. It's a recall. Now they're talking about, screw it, we're not going to mess with it anymore. We're just going to replace the whole thing altogether. Way to go.
Oh, boy.
You know, have you noticed we went for decades without cars that had engine failures? We didn't have engine failures.
Well, they were there. It's just that they weren't.
No, not to this scale.
Yeah, not to this day, but
No.
they were out there.
I remember my buddy, Nick, whose dad bought him a 69, brand new, from Richardson Chevrolet, brand new orange and black Z28 with the DZ 302 motor in it. He went through 5 motors, and they said, "We are not buying you another motor," because he'd over-rev it.
Yes.
He'd over-rev the motor, and it'd blow it up. And they finally said, "We're not going to pay for it anymore."
No mas.
And Dad said, "You're not having the car anymore." They had to trade the car in and buy something other than that.
Well, that was one of the things that made the Z28 so hot was the fact that little motor combination.
Well, it was a solid
It
lift.
revved so fast.
Right. It revved to 7,000 RPM, and it had solid lifters in it that if you didn't adjust the lifters, you were screwed.
Yep.
And good night of racing at the drag strip, you better take those valve covers off and adjust those lifters again. Because
Yeah. Because if
Smoked
you hit it you hit 7,000, if you're not really quick with that clutch, that engine is going to bump 8, maybe even 9 before you get it back under control.
Yeah, there's that.
And then you're sideways.
You are.
Yep.
Yeah, as the hood comes through the engine. By the way,
Yeah.
George's CB handle was Atomic Bomb.
Atomic bomb. Okay, George. That seems fitting. Mm-hmm. It does. Duck and cover.
Yeah,
That would have been a good one. Okay. So every week we take the Hemmings Sold Car Roundup, which is the cars that they have sold online, and we pick a few out of there, and I give the boys something to shoot for when it comes to the sold price. So I just thought, well, let's start with this one. This is a clone, a 1966 Pontiac GTO convertible. Now, I don't care whether it's a clone. That's fine with me because it keeps the price down low.
Well,
so what would it be? It'd be a Pontiac Le Mans, right?
Right.
From 1966 that somebody turned it into a clone, made it look like a GTO. It's a convertible, butternut yellow with looks like a white interior.
Is it Tempest or Le Mans?
No, I think
No,
that,
this would be the Le Mans by that time.
yeah. So what do you think that would sell for? Now, let me just preface this by saying, I think you might be surprised what it would sell for. It is a clone, because I had to look that up. Okay?
I'm going to set out, just because I know a story about a different clone, but I'm going to set out at 28.
I'm going to go 14.
Jeff says 12. Jeff Heitzman.
Jeff H says 12. I say 14.
19,425.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, you know what? For 20 grand,
That's
I'm
a nice-
buying that.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful car.
I have a buddy that he had a 1969 Dodge Super B convertible with a Hemi in it.
A clone.
Well, it was a clone. But, I mean, people would look at it and say, oh, I
Did
didn't know
did they build Super B convertibles?
No, it was a satellite that he took the convertible because he wanted a convertible.
Okay.
Put the Super B package on, and
Yeah.
I mean, he fooled tons of people that thought, oh, it must be one of 10 or something. No, they didn't build it.
It's one of 9 million.
Well, speaking of which, here's one that I know that I'm going to offend some people that are into this, but I think
So what's new?
I think that car is really ugly. This is a 1966 Plymouth Barracuda.
My aunt had one. She had a black one, and it was gorgeous.
Well, this is not gorgeous, but it looks like it's all there. It probably doesn't have a straight fender on it, but lots of Bondo, but whatever. A 66 Plymouth Barracuda. What does that say? You can't read
I
that.
can't tell.
Anyway, they say it's a Barracuda. I'm going to believe them with that great big ugly back glass. That
Glass is expensive. That is a
no doubt.
rare
Ooh,
item
yeah.
there.
So what do you think that car sold for at no reserve at Hemmings online?
I would say $6,000 for the car and 12 for the back glass.
I would
$6,000 for
say
the car.
I would say maybe 10. Heitzman says 13.
And did George chime in on this one?
No.
Okay. So it sold for $9,500.
Oh, very good.
10 was close, yeah.
No.
No,
If I got $9,000, it ain't going to be on that.
Probably because those
Well-
wheels. That wheel package is awesome.
They buy they buy it to put make race cars out of them.
Okay.
Well, look. Well, it's got prime wheel tires. Look in front of the back wheel. That's an exhaust pipe.
It is.
Yeah, I had one like that. I had that on my Nova too.
Okay. Next up.
Prowler.
Okay. Well, you could probably tell already that is not a stock factory paint job because they never painted the car that way. Why? Because it's ugly. It's orange with the black top on it and a black convertible. The car is very cool. My dad loved that car. My dad did.
Did they come with a top? I don't think they
Yeah.
came with a
Yeah,
top.
yeah, little cloth top. The car's not very big.
No, it's a two-seater.
And I had one out of the press fleet. Oh
Really?
my God! It had a V6 in it that had no horsepower, but every time you'd tromp on it, it'd twist the frame. The whole thing was just loosey goosey. You could tell, kind of like a PT Cruiser.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
those. Remember
I had
the PT?
one. I had one.
Golly,
A
what
company car.
Oh, horrible.
They were cheap and they were easy company cars.
Yeah. So 99 Plymouth Prowler. What do you think that sold for?
$11,000.
Well, not that cheap.
No. I'm going to say 22.
All right. I'm out then because I don't think it's worth it.
Heitzman says 26.
32,000.
Oh, see, that's
And that ugly paint job, it's not factory, it's not stock. No, that ruins the whole thing to me. All right, moving on to number one,
There you go.
number four, rather. This would be a 1966 Lincoln Continental convertible.
looks in pretty decent shape.
It does. It's like, butternut yellow.
Yeah, isn't
It's
that
got full wheel covers on it, white wall tires. It
black
looks clean.
convertible? Sure, black leather.
I'm thinking that this car may be an original,
Could be.
but it's beautiful.
Michael?
For what it is. What do you think, Michael?
I'm going to go 14. I think it's more of a
14?
Somebody's going to want that. Yeah.
Okay. Jeffrey?
I'll go 12.
And Mr. Heitzman?
30.
30.
And
The
winner?
actual retail value of this sold car, it sold for $66,100.
What?
I gave you a
There
hint.
must be a lot of powder in the trunk. So
What hint did you give? It's
The- the-
butternut yellow.
The hint was
It's
it
a
looks like it's
Continental.
all original.
Oh well. All original could mean a torn seat. It could be
Whatever.
The rear end's crunched in.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
see it.
this looks like a very clean original car.
what's that on the grill?
Probably a doctor's badge or something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, because that was the thing back in the day. Remember, you used to
Shriners.
have-
It looks like a Shriners emblem.
well, whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Man,
Now then, next up,
not even close.
a 1988 Nissan Pathfinder. This is at the beginning of the SUV era. This also was Nissan's way of saying, here's our Yukon.
Yeah.
So let's call it an SUV.
And I'm sorry, the year again?
88.
88. I'm going to go 10 grand.
I was thinking 14.
Really? Huh.
It's another one of those things that it's,
No reserve.
yeah.
What did that sell for?
Heitzman says 33.
$3,000.
The tires are worth that.
I'm just
That's
gonna.
what I would think.
I was just gonna say, you know what? $3,000, I'd buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good little knock
that-
around town car.
That would be a great car for a kid going
Yeah.
to high school.
Yeah.
$3,000. Look at it; it's
The
clean.
way it gets dinged up, bent
And who
up.
cares?
Why?
It's got a big catcher on the front there. Big
Now you
motor.
know Jeff's about to get a big promotion.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
And this is the car that he's going to select.
Oh, boy.
It's a 1999 Mercedes-Benz SL 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a nice looking car. I don't know the mileage on it, but let me just say that it's super clean, and it's the SL 500. So it's a 4-seat, 2-door convertible, kind of minty green.
21.
21. Mars,
Oh, I was thinking more like 36.
36. Okay,
I have no idea.
What did Jeff say?
39.
39. 26. 250.
And that's if it hasn't been recalled.
Well,
Recalls are no extra charge.
yeah. When
Guess
do
we're
they
not
stop the
getting Mercedes.
recalls? Is there a limit to recalls? 25 years or something?
I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Okay. And
Depends on how good
finally,
your lawyer is.
we have Jeff Heitzman's new ride.
Saddle River Township. Woohoo.
a 1929 American LaFrance fire truck. Open cab. Okay? and it's got the running boards and the back running board. What do you recall that thing back there?
The back running board. Yeah. It's where they stand, right?
Yeah.
The firemen stand.
Well, they used to be that way,
Yeah.
not anymore. But yeah, 1929 American LaFrance fire truck. What would that you think run you?
Man, the thing is fully restored. It
does.
I'm going to bump 40.
Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking that high. I'll go 32.
32.
Heitzman says 9.
$40,425.
Good job.
But
Nice.
what do you do with something like that?
Parades,
It doesn't.
Parades.
No, but where do you store it? It ain't going in the garage.
In your firehouse museum.
There you go.
And this looks like it's whatever place this is at is. It's not. So that's a firehouse there, but it's got a car in the garage.
All right, so let's move on and do the 1984. This is the businessman sedan. This is something that you would drive on your
Yeah.
rounds
No, I
around
wouldn't.
town. 1984 Mercedes-Benz 500 SEL. This is a nice car,
Yeah.
and at the time it was top of the heap.
17.
17.
No, I'd say it's probably still about 20,
Okay.
Heitzman says
35.
$10,500.
There you go, Mr. Businessman.
Now, hey,
Business.
little Johnny, you just turned 16. You got your driver's license. Here's your brand new car to go along with it. 10 grand. You wreck that thing, whatever it is that you run into, it's toast. What does that thing weigh? 10,000 pounds?
I don't know.
Probably so,
Probably
yeah.
so.
All right, and last but not least,
Oops.
it's a thing.
Thing.
A
Got a fine.
It's a 1974 Volkswagen, what they term as a 181. I think it's a South American car. Okay? So here in the States, we called it the Volkswagen Thing. 1974 Thing. What did that sell for?
$7 grand. And we call it a POS.
It had no horsepower, but Mr. Bars?
No, I'm going to say 18. Heitzman says 23.
And Jeff says 7.
7.
$8,900.
See, 8,000. I would buy one.
See, but here's the issue. Those things were born to rust.
Yes.
They had, and that's why you don't see very many of them because they've all melted away
Can
in
they
the
have
junkyard.
plugs in the floor to let the water out?
I don't remember.
And it's got a propeller on the top.
Yeah, but even if it don't have a hole, you can make a hole.
Well, yeah. Well, that car ain't lasting long. You'd have to completely disassemble it and fix it,
I take it to the beach.
or a beach.
There you go. That'd be a beach car, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey,
exactly.
you keep that down at the beach.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
for
go for it.
8,000, I would.
You missed
can't
the-
even buy a new golf cart for that.
You missed an opportunity.
Missed an
Man.
opportunity.
Hate it when that happens.
Just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture and a review of the 2025. What do you got?
Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer. Woohoo! It's coming up. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is back after this.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flamiado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The Inwell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Hey, In-Wheel Time hits the road again. Our next stop, Granbury, for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. Join our live broadcast on June the 14th from 9 to noon. Special extended show that day at an extended show time. Thanks for being with us today here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's check in with Jeff's car culture.
You betcha. Despite the overall solid and stable market of classic cars, there are some cars that have actually lost their value. This first one we have is a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. The Ford Thunderbird was fresh. Everybody loved it. The car wasn't excessively oversized. Rather, a two-seater, came with a well-proportioned design. The removable top as well as a panoramic windshield were highly appreciated among the young drivers. In 57, the model had a 202 cubic inch V8. It was improved by mating it to twin McCulloch superchargers. This stock modification aimed to increase the power outlet to 300 horsepower and 340 pounds worth of
That's stout.
Yep. Now, this, back in the day, or not very long ago, actually a couple of years ago, this car was 40 grand. Today it's less than 30. It's about 29.4 is what they value it today. And this is according to Haggerty. The next one we have on the plate is a 1957 Pontiac Bonneville, gorgeous car. The Pontiac Bonneville was only produced in 56 and 57. It's a very expensive car back in the day. The reason it was priced that way, it was higher than its competitors with a limited production. They only made 630 of these units, and each of the units was destined. Each of the units was destined for the Pontiac dealerships on the U.S. side. Nothing went abroad, and you know how you like broads. The Bonneville presented some outstanding features that were pretty uncommon on most 50s cars. Everything was power. Everything was electric. So it was a high-class, very quality car. Back not very long ago, it was $112,500. Today, it's about 73 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. Jaguar 65, the Jaguar E-Type SI 4.2. In response to the American Corvettes and the German Porsche, Jaguar released the stunning and beautiful E-Type, which was also called the most beautiful car ever made by Enzo Ferrari himself. So he tagged that. Presented in 61 at the Geneva Motor Show, the speechless audience was amazed by its aircraft-inspired lines and some innovative technical solutions. Back in the day, not very long ago, the car was 130 grand. Today, it's a little over 100 grand. So it has lost some value there. The next one we have is a 1953 to 1954 Cadillac Eldo, gorgeous car.
Oh, my God. Look at the size of that thing.
I know.
They all say that.
Yes, they do. The Cadillac Eldorado was the most luxurious model produced by the car manufacturer up to that time. Every single detail of the car bears a sense of fanciness and just extraordinary. Starting from the car's name, some say the Eldorado was suggested in reference to the mythical city of gold. Some others reported that the same name was chosen at the Eldorado Country Club located in Coachella Valley, California, the favorite holiday location for the GM top executive management.
What are those things called? Dagmars.
Dagmars. Now, not very long ago, this car was $162,500. Today, it's about 120 grand. So they did lose value. Next, we have the 58 Ferrari 250 California long wheelbase. There's a difference. The most desirable Ferrari of all time is the 250 California.
No, it's not.
That's what they're telling me.
Okay.
The two-seater came in two different wheelbase versions, a short wheelbase model and a long wheelbase model. This one's the long. Extremely high-value collectible car, also due to limited production of only 50 units. The beating heart of the Ferrari 250 California is a 3-liter naturally aspirated V12. Produced some 240 horsepower, a little weak, while one of the 50 models in good condition could possibly get $12,500,000. Today's value is about $9 million. So, there you go. Watch your money, people, when you're buying Ferraris. Don't just throw it away. The last one we have here, gorgeous car. I want one. The 1970 Buick Riviera GS, baby.
Who put the skirts on the back wheels?
I don't know, but I'd drive it. Oh, yeah, baby, here we go. The Buick Riviera has a special role in the golden era of muscle car fleets. Due to the high-end nature of this car, it received a warm welcome since its very first release. It wasn't a muscle car like the others. Its luxury interior, completed by wooden details and fine leather seats, made the Riviera stand out. I agree. Also in 1970, the Grand Sport package was available. The Riviera wasn't only about details, but it was a car of substance. Bulky 455 cubic inch, developed 370 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 7.9. Back in the day, it was 20 grand. Today, you can get it for about $14,000. Wow. So there you go.
Hey, that's my future right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get rid of the
Skirts and
Corvette.
everything.
Yeah. Think that the Corvette's expensive to take care of? Can you imagine trying to find parts for that thing?
Plus, it's bigger than the Corvette. You need a bigger garage.
Time now for this hour's car review. Mr. Mars, the Ford Explorer.
Yeah, buddy. This is a 2025 Ford Explorer. Now, it
I
comes
just said that.
Explorer.
Explorer. The final assembly point is in Chicago, Illinois. I can get that part straight.
There you go.
4 trim levels: active, the ST line, and then the platinum, and then you have the ST standalone. Now, we happen to be driving the active, which is actually the base model. Now, this is considered a standard SUV. We used to call them mid-size, but now they're standard. Seats 6 people because of the interior, the way we had it said. Now, it's been refreshed on the front and rear, and this is the 6th gen of this vehicle.
So they offer a bench seat in the front?
No. We have bucket seats in the second row. So it's 2, 2, 2.
Oh, okay.
I was saving that for later,
Yeah.
but that
We'll
was
get to the
kinda my
interior
tease.
part.
Yeah, we'll get to the interior part.
We'll get there.
So you're going to find you got the automatic LED headlights, taillights, fog lights, and even LED signature lamps. They make a big deal out of that.
Yeah, they do.
Heated side mirrors, got black roof rails, got a rear spoiler that's body colored, power lift gate, got the optional 20-inch 10-spoke wheels that we're rolling on. Now, this is on the interior, it's got ActiveX seating material. Front seat is buckets. They're heated. Second row is buckets. Third row is a 50-50 fold flat. That is, I'm going to say, very suited to smaller personnel. Now, you're going to find that you got a 12.3-inch digital gauge
Personnel.
cluster that for the driver, configurable, several different ways that you can configure that. You've got a 13.2-inch touchscreen, which is new for this year. And that's where you're going to find your infotainment, your nav, all your convenience controls. Has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and they're starting to bring in more of the Google services there. USB-Cs on all levels for all the seats. I really like the way that controls were laid out, particularly the shifter in the console. It's a rotary shifter. I would rather have seen it up on the dash where I had a little more room down on the console, but that's fine. 2.3-liter EcoBoost up underneath the hood, 300 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, backed by a 10-speed automatic. So you can actually tow 5,300 pounds with this vehicle. Now, the EPA says in the city you should be looking for about 20, highway 27, combined about 23. I drove this vehicle 451.3 miles, got 21.5 miles across that whole thing. And I really like the wide power band because it rolled up pretty quick. When you started it and rolled into it, it was very responsive, nice wide power band, great road manners, very comfortable to drive. Now, the base trim price on this vehicle, $39,785. You're going to find that the base model price was $41,755 as tested, MSRP at $48,520. Something to compare it to, the Kia Telluride starts at $36,390. Mazda CX-90, $37,845, and the Hyundai Palisade at $37,200. Great driving vehicle. I really like driving it. It just should have been a 2-row. Anyway, that's my review of the 2025 Ford Explorer.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that gets recalled very much.
No, it doesn't. And like I say, that's the 6th gen. It was introduced in 2020, so they've been tweaking it pretty good for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And
A friend of mine asked me, I'm really looking at that new Nissan Armada. I said, okay.
It's big.
Why? Well, it's not as big as you think. They've cut back on that. But I told him, I said, this is a first-generation vehicle. You sure you want to get into that? Because you're basically being a test mule.
Yeah, you're a guinea
expect
pig, yeah.
expect problems and expect it to be recalled. It's just part of the deal. You want to be cutting edge, then you're going to have to pay the pony on that one.
One of my daughters had one of these about 6 years ago, and she loved it. You know, she drove the wheels off of it.
Yeah.
Literally.
All right. The End Real Time Car Talk Show will continue right after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we're going to have a very special guest, and that is going to be Tammy Dooley.
All right.
You might recall the name. She is the president and chief executive officer of the city of Granbury, Texas.
And all parts in between.
And the route that leads up there.
Yep. All roads lead to Granbury.
That's right. And she's waiting for us to arrive. And we'll be arriving there a month from now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
just about.
3.5 weeks, something like that.
Something like that. And so anyway, we're going to talk to her about the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run that's going to be held in her magnificent city. I gave her a promotion, and nobody picked up on that.
I did,
except she had this look of shock on her face. But we'll deal with that in just a minute. So that's all coming up on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Let's get right to it.
Let's get it.
And she's here, and she's on the air, and it's Tammy Dooley, the President of the United States.
Or at least Granbury.
United States of Texas.
That's it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
now.
good.
Oh, I'm so glad. When you said that my title, I almost fell over because my boss probably wouldn't appreciate that.
Well, that's why we said it.
Yeah, I will defer to my boss. Chris Kaufman is the CEO of the city of Granbury.
Is he? Okay.
Well, he's not here, so you are.
No, no, he's the one that's working the camera. That's
Oh,
why
there
she
you
was
go.
overclamped
There you go.
about it.
He's great. He's great.
Yeah. Well, how have you been, Tammy Dooley? And her husband, by the way, is Tom Dooley. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's Mike Dooley. But at any rate, I always have to bring that up, and I can't help myself. So how have you been? What's going on?
I have been so good. I hope you guys have been good. Cannot believe it's already time
It is.
for Lone Star Street Rod again. And this year, of course, is their big 50th anniversary. So we are beyond excited.
Well, it ought to be a great event, and especially the fact that it is the 50th anniversary of Lone Star Street Rod Association. And, it's so funny when I don't know who contacted who, but we got together with the guys at Lone Star Street Rod, and they said, yeah, we want you to come to Granbury. I had no clue where Granbury was, but now I do. And when somebody says to me, well, where are you going to be that weekend? We're going to Granbury. Oh, I've been to Granbury. I love that little town.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lucky you that you're there.
Well, I'm really lucky. It's a beautiful place. Granbury has made a name for itself because we're a small, charming community. And so that's what we do is welcome visitors. So we were thrilled when you came for the first time, and now we feel like you're part of our family.
Well, thank you. We feel like the same. By the way, I was just asking Mars before we went on the air with you. We're staying Saturday night somewhere. But I don't know if that's been arranged or not, and well, I've not heard. Of course, I haven't talked to you, so have you got us a place to stay, or are we staying in the car?
I can sure get you a place. I thought that part was taken care of, but I could sure do that if you don't. But I did make your reservations for dinner, and you had thought maybe Christina's, and so I have reservations for all of you at Christina's Saturday night, which will blow your socks off. It is a fabulous restaurant. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see real well, but right behind me is the restaurant.
Oh.
I think I've got it in the shot.
Yeah, you do.
That is the Nut House Hotel, and Christina's, which is in my book, a 5-star dining experience. And Chef Gary Folger is amazing, and his wife Katie will be taking care of you. But if you need hotel accommodations, I'm your girl.
Well, I know that I will be.
I got to talk to Rick again. When I talked to him, and we were talking about setting up something later on in the month, and we talked about you coming this Saturday. Didn't quite get to the hotel, but I'll get back with him and make sure.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, buddy.
Exactly. All right. So, what is it that the city of Granbury does for people like the Lone Star Street Rod Association?
Well, the Lone Star Street Rod has been here probably about 10 years with us. And again, this is their 50th anniversary. So we have all kind of incentivization packages that we work with to bring groups here. And they are really probably a classic example of that. They put so many hotel rooms in our community, and the whole city welcomes them. When they start coming in, we start seeing the cars and everyone gets excited. They have well over 200 cars at their show. And with it being the 50th, we have some surprises planned for them. They will be going to New Granbury Live and seeing a tribute band. It's the Heart Tribute Band. And they'll be having a big birthday cake and celebrations out in the park. So
what night is that?
Saturday night.
The Heart Tribute is Saturday night.
So we're going to go to dinner, and then we're going to go see the Heart Tribute?
Well, we could switch your time for dinner. I think they overlap a little bit. The Heart Tribute starts at 7, and a lot of them now, they will be in there, and they're buying tickets, and last I heard, it's almost full. But I can look into that. But we can do your dinner earlier if you want.
Well, I mean, I'm not the one here to set the schedule. That would be Mr. Mars and you. But that sounds something that we'd like to do.
Whatever happens, happens. That's what I say.
Yeah, that's it.
My wife is just happy to be going.
Well, we're glad you're coming, and Granbury just keeps doing all the fun things. And we have, I think we talked about it last time, we're the celebration capital of Texas now. And so this is a place people go to celebrate.
Well, let's not leave out the lake and the Airbnb stuff and all of that. That's a big deal up there around the lake, and the lake is not some tiny little reservoir.
No, the lake is like 30 miles long, and there's 6,000 plus houses along the lake, and it is stunningly beautiful. It carves right through the middle of town. It is as the crow flies from where I'm standing. It is like not far at all. I can't see it from this vantage point, but it is very close. So it's right where the park is, where the show will be at the conference center in Hewlett Park. So it is beautiful. It just adds to the character and charm of Granbury.
So, Tammy, if somebody's going to say, I think I don't have a hot rod car, but I think I'd like to go up there and experience that whole thing, what would be a good website or some source that you could use so you could see Granbury, pictures of Granbury, reservations, hotels, things to do, things to see? Where would you go?
I would go to visitgranbury.com. Everything you could possibly want to know about Granbury, all the events, and especially Lone Star Street Rod Association. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram and even Pinterest. We have a lot of great stories on there. So that's a central source. You can actually view our lake cam. You should try that. We on Visit Granbury, click on Granbury Lake Cam, and it is cameras positioned on the back of the conference center, 4 different angles where you can watch the lake, which is very calming. You can see the weather, see how beautiful it's going to be when you arrive. It's really neat.
I think last year we went to a marina out on the lake.
Yeah, we did.
And
We had
ate
lunch there.
on the way out of town.
Yeah.
At lunch. Really neat place. You're looking at me like
We did that?
Yeah, you were there.
Okay, so this year you can only have 1 margarita at the marina,
Oh,
not 2.
that's probably that was the issue.
And
I'm
that's
sure.
after you get off the air.
Okay. All right. Well, there is that. Yeah. You know remember those thermos bottles that you used to have as a kid? They had the glass liner inside.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how cold they can keep a drink. Just say.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I remember those. I do. And I know you'll be bringing your wives,
Yep.
and there are some wonderful boutiques here for them to shop at, like Red on the Square. And so I hope they bring lots of money and stay as long as they can and shop Granbury.
Yeah. Well, guess whose money it'll be.
Yeah, just bring the credit card.
That's what it is. So, all right. With that in mind, let's say, for instance, that these guys and gals bring their spouses or boyfriends, whatever it is, and they've only got the one ride. Is there transportation, an Uber, so to say, a Granbury bus, a trolley that can go from Hewlett Park downtown or something?
You are in luck because since you were here last year, we retired our historic trolley and bought 2 brand new historic trolleys. They look just like the other one, but they're brand new. So we have 2, and then we also have open air tram transportation from the park. So you can go back and forth from the park to the square and shop, or jump on the trolleys at one of the hotels. It goes to the majority of our hotels and picks you up about every hour.
Very nice, because
and it's free.
And it's free.
That's even better.
That's great. So, who ultimately pays for something like that? Is it the Convention and Visitors Bureau, or is it how do you work that?
Well, again, the city of Granbury, I'm part of the city. So Visit Granbury is a city department. And the majority of our funding comes from hot tax, which is that wonderful little tax you pay when you check out of a hotel room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is responsible for, paying for these 2 new trolleys, which is great. And it all comes through the city. And seriously, a plug for our city council. We have a really great mayor and city council, and they see the value of taking care of our tourist partners. And so a free trolley is just part of that. So in the end, the city is responsible for making those decisions, but it is to generate more tourism. And the trolley is probably one of the most favorite things we have and offer. It's exciting just when you see it drive up.
What's the population of Granbury?
It's just over 11,000, and we have about 75,000 surrounding us in our county. We're a relatively small county, but tourism is our number 1 industry. And so it's just really great. It sounds like 11,000 people, but our city services about 75,000.
Wow, nice. It's a nice size, too. It's not too small.
Yeah.
It's not too big. Yeah.
And you can kind of see some of the city's, the square, the town square behind you there. And that was one of the things that I fell in love with when we came up here. We were walking around down there in the evening. It was starting to get a little dark. The lights were coming on. We got some ice cream at the Silver Saddle and some of the other shops and stuff that were down there. And it was just so nice, and the weather was great walking around down there. And it was fun.
I think what we need to do is that we need to have a Christmas show in Granbury. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We go up there. Tammy could find us a place to broadcast it on a Saturday somewhere around Town Square where we got all the Christmas decorations out.
I bet that's neat.
Well, see, there you go. I've given you a lead. Both of you two need to talk, and there you go.
We just saw 2 youngsters behind you walking. One of them had a fishing pole. It kind of looked like Opie walking back behind you.
Well, as you mentioned that, I have been watching groups walk by. It looks like I saw a wedding group already and a girlfriend weekend, and across the way over here, if you can see them, looks like a little athletic. I don't know if I got them in there, but like a boys. I don't know if it's a church group or a sports group, but yeah. So that's a frequent sight here in Granbury.
So do these groups, do they call you ahead of time and make contact with you? Hey, what can we do? Give us some ideas. And you also get an idea of who they are, how many in the group, that sort of thing. Y'all talk?
We do. We help them with hotel rooms, and we help them with, getting the rates they want, the accommodations they're looking for. We probably work with somewhere around 60 different events. It could be wedding groups or anything. And then, they ultimately make the decision. We just make it convenient for them. And then we also do a lot of servicing. Like, we will provide the trolley for these groups, and we also do welcome bags. We literally, through our office, stuff 10,000 welcome bags a year for people coming in, full of coupons and swag and stuff like that. Our volunteers do it.
That's so wonderful. We love to hear stuff like that because, Houston, Texas, I guess they have it, but it's at a different level, and it's just so enticing that it makes Granbury a destination, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Tammy, it's great to talk to you, and we thank you so much for joining us today. Convention and Visitor Bureau, and it's visitgranbury.com.
VisitGranbury.com, and we will see you all in June.
Is that a statue of you behind you?
No. This is the lady, Mary Lou Watkins, who was really the person that transformed, I don't know if you can see her, transformed Granbury. The restaurant you will be eating in is the location of her hotel, and she was famous for bringing Granbury back from a old city that needed something, and she served in that restaurant, her own restaurant and hotel, and she was part of the Nutt family. So it's this hotel behind me, and that's where y'all will eat at Christina's. But anyway, she made these little cornmeal fried. Oh my gosh, everything was great. I actually got to go there probably in the early 90s. Anyway, this is a statue. She used to ring the dinner bell. You'll see it at dinner, but it's fabulous.
That's the same woman that Ricky Nelson sang about.
Yep.
All right. Tammy, it's great to talk to you. Tell Mike/Tom we said hello.
I will. See you in June.
See you in June. Thank you so much.
All right.
That's always fun.
Tammy
Fantastic.
I
It's
know.
awesome. I can't wait. I'm going to go home and pack.
I
am. I'm going to go gas up the car and wait.
Okay, you go ahead and do that.
Go do that.
Coming up, Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll have stories making automotive news headlines this week. Stay with us. The award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues after this.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupe Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupe Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupe Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupe Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupe experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupe beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupe Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupe Tortilla, he's pretty good. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Yeah, and as you heard, Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run is our next remote gathering. So be sure and join us from Granbury, Texas, 9 to noon, Saturday, June 14th. And today, however, we thank you for joining us here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Let's get the cruise in and events calendars. Jeff has that. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh.
Okay, now good.
I got a good one. This one's pretty cool. If you're going to do an advertisement for your show, your classic car, truck show, whatever it is, this is the way you do it. Hill Country Rockabilly Weekender, May 18th at 5 p.m. Now, this starts on the 16th at 5, and it goes to Sunday the 18th at 5 at the Mountain Breeze Campground. It's at 201 Mountain Breeze Camp in New Braunfels. Check this out. The Hill Country Rockabilly Weekender is slated for the 16th through the 18th on this year, the Mountain Breeze Campground in New Braunfels. Guests will enjoy rockabilly music featuring bands such as the Prairie Rattlers, Living Heritage, Hard Luck Rebels, $2 Pistols, Solitary Runaway, Barnyard Stompers, with more to be announced. Apart from the musical performances, the festival offers a variety of activities, which includes, get this, boozy bingo, dance lessons, late night acoustic jam, car
Is that
show.
boozy or bougie?
Boozy.
Boozy.
Drinking boozy, and then
Okay.
you take dance lessons after.
Oh, God.
Podcast broadcasting, pin-up photo shoots, rockabilly fashion show, late night karaoke, a Jeep rally, and a bike show. The event will also host several contestants, including an Elvis impersonation contest, pin-up contest for you, Don. You're good at that. Tattoo contest, canopy decorating contest, and a pompadour Mike pin-up hair contest.
Mike.
Raffles are also on the schedule. Special guests confirmed for the event are...
That was the Birkin.
I know, the Merkin hairdo. The event, these confirmed event specialties are James Brains, E-Dub, Booker E on the drums, Pinup Sweet Tea, James Miller, and Nuckin Futz.
What?
Nuckin Futz,
Well, you gotta be careful with that one.
N-U-K-I-N-F-U-T-Z. Attendees can expect to have find a selection of food trucks, a diverse range of vendors, glitz, glam, and rebellion at the Atomic Mermaid. That's going to be awesome.
Now, where is that event? I
yeah,
want to go there.
This is in New Braunfels.
Well,
It's
why
coming day.
are we doing
No, it's
That's a lot of stuff.
16th through the 18th.
Why don't
Friday
we do
to Sunday?
Let's do a remote there.
We should. You
That's
got
next
Airbnb.
weekend.
Yes, you got Airbnbs, you got RV sites, everything nearby. Typical New Braunfels. Good times. If the weather's great, do the river, do all that stuff. And then you got some stuff going on in Round Rock, Old Settlers Park Tennis Complex. You got a car show out there. Fredericksburg's got one on the 17th from 11 to 4. So it's hopping and happening out in the hill
Man,
country.
I'm telling you.
And then we got Granbury. Don't forget Granbury. I like it. There you go.
All right. Well, thank you very much for all of that. I can't. You can't keep it. The name of that one thing, though, that's dangerous.
Nuckin. N-U-K-I-N. It's a good one. I'm waiting on you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
he's,
you got?
he's still
You got-
trying
you
to
got
figure
news.
out how to say that properly.
Yeah, he's got it.
I'm very worried about that.
All right.
57, 58, 30, okay, 57.
He's
I'm
doing
just doing
taxes.
some math here.
As long as he doesn't take his shoes off
Yeah.
and start counting. we'll be
He's counting the
British
minutes left.
automakers will be allowed to export 100,000 vehicles to the U.S. each year at a reduced tariff rate of 10% under the framework of a trade deal the countries agreed to on May the 8th. Since April 3rd, U.S. vehicle importers have been subject to a 25% duty. Tariffs on a wide range of parts began on May 3rd. It leaves in place a 10% tariff on goods imported from the UK, while Britain agreed to lower its tariffs to 1.8% from 5.1% and provide greater access to U.S. goods. Okay. New vehicle inventory. And I bring this up because apparently there was a run on cars last month when it was revealed that we were going to do this 25% tariff thing.
Yep.
New vehicle inventory in the U.S. dropped roughly 10% over the last month to 2.8 million vehicles as consumers grab new vehicles ahead of tariff-related sticker price hikes expected to arrive over the next few months. Inventory fell from 3.08 million a month ago to 2.8 million to start May, according to inventory management firm LotLinks. Estimated supply now 58 days, down from 71 days. So the car you may have hoped to get may or may not be there. Yugo.
All right.
Remember Yugo?
Are they being recalled?
They plan to put together a two-door small hatchback into production in 2027, reviving a brand that debuted 45 years ago but has not made a car since 2008.
Didn't they have that? Was what they made.
The company behind the project, Globo, like Bozo, debuted a scale model of its comeback car at the Car Design Festival in 2025 in Munich. Yugo promises it will have a fully functional prototype of the car. They haven't built a prototype yet at the 2027 Belgrade Expo. Don't hold your breath, friends.
Well, and then
That's when we're gonna debut our build
yeah, and the old
that
story
we haven't built yet.
Yeah, the old story.
We
is
just thought about it. This particular car, you know what it looks like? An old GTI or Rabbit.
Yeah.
It looks almost identical to it, a two-door version.
They put the window defroster in the back so you can keep your hands warm while you push it in the winter.
Yeah.
Pushed it up. Good. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Former accounts payable administrator of 2 Florida dealerships was arrested after allegedly stealing $75,000 from her employer, according to a statement the Florida Department of Law Enforcement put out. Kelly McKissitt, 47, of Port St. Lucie, Florida, was employed at Bev Smith Kia and Bev Smith Toyota in Fort Pierce, Florida, from 2017 to 2025, according to a complaint affidavit. During her employment, McKissitt is accused of making hundreds of unauthorized purchases on company credit cards. Some of the purchases included cruise line gift cards, Disney gift cards, organic infant cereal, jewelry, home security items, a freezer, dog treats, purses, decorations and party supplies, baby items, including clothing and food, and more, according to investigators.
Wow.
McKissitt resigned from her position in October, but remained with the dealerships as a per diem employee to train her replacement.
This is how you steal.
Yeah, this is how I got away with it for so many years.
Once she got caught and then got her new job, what? Who does that?
I don't know. Well, they obviously do there. And that city, Port St. Lucie, that my mother lived in that town.
She was fired in January, by the way.
Wow.
Your mother was?
No.
Oh.
The thief over there.
Oh.
So I thought that was interesting. And Brembo says its latest development slashes brake dust emissions, making the system compliant with tougher European Union rules that take effect in 2026. So no dust brakes now from Brembo.
Very cool.
And if they've got them, you know that everybody else is going to start making them.
I'm curious how you measure the amount of dust.
I don't know how they measure them, but apparently it's reduced the dust emissions by about 70%.
On a brake dyno. Like they have tire dynos, engine dynos, they have a brake dyno that does that.
You think
Oh.
that?
Yeah.
I guess maybe they put more asbestos in it
I
so
don't
that
know.
it doesn't kick off dust.
We're going to finish the show up
some
right
type of
after
chemical.
this break. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll just go with that.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
Well, that's it for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure to check us out online at InWheelTime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and fun automotive things. If you have an idea or event, let us know. Our email address is info@inwheeltime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the In Wheel Time app. Yeah. On the road, grab a podcast anytime from your favorite podcast provider, including the new SiriusXM podcast channel. And be sure to catch us on the Odyssey Radio app. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon. Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com has it. The InWheelTime Video Technical Director is We Always Need More Jeff Zekin. For booking agent, video editor, and people finder, Mike Out of This World Mars, and Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Be safe out there. Have a great week. And thanks again for following the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. See you next week.